What's up, guys? Welcome back to Frostpunk 2. In our last video, we tried to do a playthrough where we survived the whole 300 weeks that they have capped in the Frostpunk 2 beta. During that, around week 230, between 250, we winded up finding Broken Shores, which is the fuel colony inside of the game. Which gives me an idea. If we were able to find Broken Shores, which is the fuel colony, we might be able to find the food colony and the material colony. And given that there are 3 colonies, and there are also 3 other maps that we can potentially play on, it leads me to believe that we might be able to find these 2 other colonies inside the game. So we're going to do another playthrough to survive 300 weeks. But in that, our main goal is to find one of these 2 other colonies. And I have an idea of where those 2 other colonies might be. So let's jump right into the game. And let's look for these other colonies. Now, just like I explained in the beginning of the last video, the game is going to force us to go through a quick tutorial, but a lot of that stuff doesn't have to be knocked out, or honestly, none of the stuff has to be knocked out when the game wants you to knock it out. You can kind of just do it at your own leisure. So I'm going to hit pause. So going off in this direction, we had this way station. This way station, following the prompts that they set up in the game, Broken Shores is somewhere out in this area, and it's kind of hard to see and understand what I'm talking about if you didn't see the last video. So I really advise you to go watch that last video so you can understand the direction that I took to find Broken Shores up in this area. But there are 2 other way stations on this map. There's one right here, and there is one right here. So my assumption is the other 2 colonies are out from these way stations. So my first goal right now is to breeze through this tutorial, and the tutorial is going to want us to set up fuel and all these other things, and we're going to take care of that right now. I have the game paused, and I'm pretty much going to set it up. Heat stamps is our primary currency in this game, and it seems to be very important. Sometimes you really do struggle with heat stamps. So to preserve heat stamps, they're going to want us to break ice, and I'm going to go to this coal deposit here. While that ice is breaking, I'm going to break this ice in this area because we are going to run low on materials, and just having this kind of taken care of for us is going to help us in the long run. We're going to set up our materials deposit right here in this area, and I'm going to lean it this way, and I'm going to explain why I leaned it that way in a bit. So, and then right after that, we're going to set up our food. We just want to get this done, still on week 1, and it's going to take a little bit for them to get this taken care of. I'm going to lean more towards this way, and this is so I can put housing in this area too. So with those things taken care of, we are going to work on our housing districts. Now, just like I explained in the last video, these blue areas are our heat. And we want our housing to be in these heat areas so that way our citizens stay warm and they don't freeze from the cold, because the cold will become an issue as you get further on in this beta. This is like the industry zone, and it will deteriorate your buildings. We do not want that. It is called squalor, right? So one of the colonies that I'm going to build is going to be here, and it's going to ask us to do 2. So we're going to do a second one, and we're going to build this one going out this way. There we go. And now we just have to let the game run. So I'm going to smash 3. Speed this up, pause it here because we got this taken care of. So we're going to go right back in, and I'm going to free up the rest of this area. I'm also going to build an industrial zone inside of there because that's also going to help with our heat stamps, and we are running low on heat stamps. The area that I am going to work on in this episode is coming out and exploring this one because it is the closest to where we are breaking ice. So I'm going to drag out over here and free that area up completely so we can start that once we get to the point where we can build our logistics, which is when the beta will end for, not the beta, but the tutorial will end for us. So let's hit play, breeze through this, go to 1 and stop. So now we have to construct our extractor. So we're going to grab another extractor, build it over here with the fuel. And now our primary goal is just to breeze through this tutorial. And we are going to do that. But I'm going to pause it again so I'm not wasting time. And I'm going to grab another extractor. And I am going to work through this area here so I can grab these resources. We're going to grab this one. We want to be able to get these two, and we're going to be able to extend this so we can grab those two. We need an area that's going to be open here. We're going to have to open up a new one. So that way we can build our industrial zone in this area. So let's just take care of that right now. And we're going to hit play. During this playthrough, I'm not going to go through any of the prompts. You can pause to read, and I will say pause to read. I didn't do it for that one. I apologize if this is anybody's first video noticing this. So I'm going to say pause to read so you guys can read through the prompts if it's your first time seeing it. And let's get through it. So now we have a section of new goals here. So we have to create our housing districts. We need to extend it because it's going to ask us to build our building so that way we can get our tech tree. So we're going to extend this guy this way. It's going to give us 3. That's going to get extended. And we have to research the coal mine. So we're going to start this up again. And we're going to pause it right there. So now we should have our research institute, but we are low on heat stamps, which tends to become a problem in this game sometimes. But we will find our way. We'll get through that. We just have to speed up time until we're able to have enough, which we do right now. And as we get into the tech tree, as we get into laws, we'll be able to sit there and deal with our heat stamp problem early on, which is something that we're really going to have to deal with. So while the game is paused, we do have to allow them to build this building. And we will go right into our tech tree. They're going to need us to build the coal mine. So we're going to knock this out. I like to use common sense in this one. And I would want, it's not the forges, but the mechanist to build this for me. We need more heat stamps. We're low on that. So we have to speed it up again. We should have enough heat stamps because I think it costs 50. Go right back into coal, and it does. Grab the mechanist. Let's take a look at these. This is just the, we had already done this. It's going to ask us to open it up again, but we took care of that already. It just gave us the prompt. Right, and this is the one it's researching for us right now. Let's take a look at this guy right here. Pause to read. This just talks about our stockpiles depleting. And we're going to speed this up. Down here, if we hover over it, it says we have 13 weeks and 1 day to complete it, but there's also a progress bar that's going to go up. And we're going to speed through that progress bar. And at the same time, our heat stamps are going up, which is going to help us in the long run. Let's pause, take a look at this. This is just talking about the cold and how it's going to become an issue because we do have the cold. That is going to be our biggest threat in this game. One of our biggest threats in the game, not our completest biggest threat. So we're going to breeze through that. And as you can see up here in the top right, we can see that we're going to drop 10 and we're going to drop another 10. Right? And these are the weeks. Week 40, week 50, week 60, so far and so forth. So we're going to hit play. I've been enjoying this playthrough so far. This game is going to be so great. I'm surprised at how much we're able to do in the game with only 40% of the game open up to us. And what we're able to accomplish within these 300 weeks that they allowed us to play through. So I'm paused the game. We completed the coal. So we're going to go to extractor. We're going to grab this coal grinder. We're going to place it right here in this extractor area. We're going to go back to our tech tree. And I need to work my way into this area for survival. I believe it is this area for survival, so I'm going to grab the hothouses, which is going to help us with food production later on because food is also very important. We're going to allow the foragers because in my brain, common sense allows us to say that the foragers would probably be the best for food. So we're going to allow the foragers to do that. And we're going to go back and speed this up. We need a council. So now this is where the tutorial is coming to an end for us. They're going to ask us to build a council. We're going to pass our first law. We need more heat stamps, so we're going to pass time. We got enough. They're going to ask us to pass our first law. We're going to speed this up so we can get this building quickly. Complete it. Boom. So we're going to click on this. We're going to open a session, and it's going to show us the council building, which I think looks amazing. The council building is not just aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't just look good. Pause to read if you want to understand how the council works. You can hover over certain areas in the council and it'll show you who is sitting in the seats in the council. But that's not all. You can click on them and it'll give you a description of that specific faction. I can go to the other side and click on the mechanist and it'll give me the same thing. If I click in the middle, it'll allow me to come back. So we want to pass laws, and I personally am going to start off with passing laws that are going to help me produce more heat stamps. My first 3 laws are going to be due to pass more heat stamps, and I'm going to need population growth. So this is the one that I'm going to go for. Right, we're going to propose it. 20 people are for it, 10 people are against it. I will go over negotiations with you so you kind of understand it. It gives you an idea of, so you can read the law that's about to be passed, what's it going to do here, and the people that are for it or against it. But these guys seem to be mostly hesitant in between it. So we can click into these guys and lean them, tell them we want them to vote for or want them to vote against, and they are going to require us to make a promise. They have their own terms in which we have to complete in order for them to be happy and lean in our favor. But I don't feel like we're going to need that this early on in the game, so we're just going to go vote. We need 51 out of 100 and we got 54, right? That happens a lot. It's very rare that you see them go over, especially when the sides are so even as they are. Right, so now this is the prompt. You can pause to read, but this is the prompt pretty telling us that the game is in our hands now. There are going to be no more tutorials, no more guidance for us. But in the game over here on the right in the middle of the screen, if you click this button here, it'll bring up a tutorial list for you of things that maybe information that you forgot or you just want to breeze back into. But our primary goal is to find one of the colonies. We already found the fuel colony, so our goal is to find the food colony or the materials colony, and we need to get over here to do that, right? So in order to sit there, in order to be able to get to that area, we need a logistics district, but we don't have enough food stamps. So we're going to speed up. So that way we can get more food stamps in order to make that happen. This is just talking about stockpiling. Pause to read. Depots are important. I'm not really worried about it at this point because resources during this 300 weeks doesn't seem to be a big deal. You can really make it through just kind of being a minimalist. One of the things that does become an issue are people. So there are little things that I am going to have to do in between the games. So one of the things that I'm going to do early on is I'm going to increase the size of this housing district here. Let's go in on pause. We need 150 and now we have 150. I'm going to pause it again. I'm going to take care of these, but first I'm going to get this logistics district down. and we're going to operate out of here and explore the Frost Wasteland out on this side of the map. Let's go down to our tech tree. We got our hot houses. Now, since that we got our hot houses, the logistics space open up, which is what we need. It's going to cost 50, but I'm going to go with the mechanist on a logistics space as well. While you're out in the frozen wasteland, I'm sorry, just to explain this to you, while you're out in the frozen wasteland, it does have its own resource that allows you to explore. Unlike in Frostpunk 1, the resource was people and food. In this one, the resource is not people, it's not food. The resource is this icon here. And you need a certain amount of those of these icons. I don't know the name of them. I'm still learning the names of these things in the game, so please bear with me. But you need a specific number of resources to sit there and either collect certain things. If you find coal, to send coal back to your base. If you want to go into harder or further deeper on into the Frost Wasteland, you're going to need more of those resources, and they usually hover between 10, 20, and 40. So building this logistics bay gives us 15. Now we already do get 10 a week. This is going to bump that up to around 25 a week for us, which we need. The reason why I also want to go for these logistics bays, which I didn't set up, is because I want to get over here. And this is going to allow our guys out there in the Frost Wasteland to move a lot faster. These guys are going to take 500. See, they're going to take 500 workers, but they're going to give us only 10. I'm going to go with them. They're going to give us, it's going to take 600 workers, but they're going to give us 15. And since that's going to work aligned with our goal, that's what we're going to go for. So let's speed it up until we can get 50. Instead of wasting time doing that, I'm going to go back to the economy, and I am going to go for more heat stamps, which is service exemptions. Propose. We're back to 2010. I'm not worried about failing this, so we're just going to go and vote for it. We got 60 out of 51. Perfect. So that gives us more heat stamps. If I hover up in this area now, we are making from the population 13 heat stamps per week. And we have a negative of 3. So we could be making 16, upwards of 16 heat stamps per week, but I have to deal with the industry, which I will get to in a little bit. We're not at our threshold of 50. We just need one more week to go by. Boom. Now we're at 50. So we are going to go for that. This is built. So now we can start exploring the wasteland. So the game will naturally prompt us to go out into this area. This is new. Pause to read. And we'll commit to solving the issue. It's going to give us 30 weeks, and that's going to give us some favors. So we're going to regulate children. It just got colder. We're going to pause. We don't want to come out from there. This is just... The game naturally prompts us to go out into this area, as you can see, but we don't want to go out into that area. We want to come out somewhere into this area. So we're going to find... And as you can see on the map, this map is huge. So we're going to start off. It's unsafe territory, and as you can see, this takes 40, and we only have 10, so that's not going to work for us. So let's go over to this area. This takes 10, and we have a potential of finding this. It's a safe area, so we're going to start our expedition off in this area. The Icebloods have formed. The Icebloods is the third faction that comes up in the game. They lean more towards on the side of the Foragers. Pause to read if you want to see what they're about. Let's zoom back in. As you can see, this resource depot is on its way to being depleted. in 28 weeks, which is the reason why we set up this one over here. We can set up new laws. We got a prompt. We said we were going to take care of something, so we're going to do that now. This one's going to take heat stamps away from us, and we don't want that. Not this early on in the game, because we really need them to push us towards our goal. 27 out of 9. We're just going to vote for it because I don't see myself losing this vote. $62, a rare 62. And trust rises. Your trust meter is down here at the bottom middle. You can hover over the faction. As you can see, they're favorable to us. These guys are really close to being favorable to us, and so are these guys, but these things shift. So there's a nice balancing game that you have to play while you're sitting here going through this, and I have to maintain that balancing game to make sure that I'm able to survive the 300 weeks that I want to survive. It's not just as simple as sending guys out there, you know? We have our food. So we're going to put this here. Because we are dropping even though we are in a surplus. Have them build that. These laws that they're allow surveys to increase. We're going to do it. Allow them in. It's just going to make them happy. Okay, so now our logistics bay is finished, and now we're going to work our way to the scout training. Let's see how much it's going to cost. It's free. So this lowers the cost of exploration if we use the Foragers. Exploration time is decreased. Lowers the cost. So we're already favorable with these guys. The time doesn't bother me. I feel like we have enough time, but cost is a really big factor when it comes to completing the goal that I want to complete. So this is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to pause. Oh, sorry, I kind of sped through that prompt trying to pause the game. And the Icebloods want to steer the city closer towards their ideals. Okay. So up here in the top right of the screen, this is the expedition that we sent out, and there's a meter that you can see that will go all the way around, and it'll go all the way around twice. Right now they're on, oh no, yeah, sorry, it'll go all the way around twice. It'll go all the way around once, and then they have to chart it, so it's going to go all the way around again. So we're going to unpause the game. Getting a decent amount of heat stamps. We have a law that we can go for, so we're going to go back to economy, basic necessities. We're going to get more heat stamps. We're going to change that later. As it gets colder, the trust in me, the steward, is going to go down. So we're going to use that to our advantage and not really worry about the trust now. We just need heat stamps. Try to get as much heat stamps as we can to make sure that we're able to stay on top of things. And we're pretty much going to get this. Nice 58 out of 51. That is good. So that logistics bay we are going to build. Here it is, and we're going to build this here. I'm going to test something. One problem that I have had playing Frostpunk was with population, right? I'll just start running out of people. And I believe that's due to me not having enough housing. So I want to see if I can build. I need 100 heat stamps in order to do this, but I want to see if I can build more housing. And if that will solve the problem that I'm having in game with housing. So let's build these guys along here. And hit play. Let's see what's going on here. Pause to read. Okay. Now we're producing 25, which is perfect. Perfect. I believe I need... Is this completed? So it seems like we're going to need 200 heat stamps. They're going to decrease time and cost. So let's just go right through it. We just lost people to a murder. Frigid Wasteland was explored. You get your prompts down here on the bottom right. So we're going to click on this, pause the game so we're not losing time, and let's see what we found. It's going to take 10, so we can have a look. We have 25 up here. The decrepit village. So they have materials here. And we can construct a... I don't really care for the materials. $40. It's going to cost 40, so we can't do that one. Not yet, at least. There's more materials here. It's going to cost 40. And there's a valley with possible people here. So we're going to go on this expedition here. Because we need people. We're going to need people, at least, I should say. We got a plains here, which has food. And another one here. All right, we're working our way out. We are working our way out. I might be able to send another expedition out. We can launch this expedition here. Yep, I can send 2 out. So we're gonna be really aggressive with this because I really want to try and get this goal. We're already pretty much at week 100. 3 days off week 100. Week 100. So family apprenticeship promise better fortune for the children in the city. We have to deal with crime, which is what I'm going to take care of. By going to society. This is also going to help us with riots because riots are going to happen as it gets cold. And we need watchtowers. Who do I want this to have? I've given a lot to the mechanists, so I'm going to do these guys here. I think there's a law they want us to propose, which is the Pathfinder Scouts. Explore the... Yeah, we're gonna... This is a guarantee for us. As you can see, 52 are gonna vote for it already. So we pretty much already won.
The measure passes.
Yep. And let's go. We gotta wait 10 weeks. Let's me think. Is there anything I want to build? No. So we're gonna gun forward. It's getting colder and it's about to get warmer. Don't worry. Let them fend for themselves. We need the heat stamps currently. What's going on here? Ah, the Icebloods. This is from experience I already know this one's not going to go good for me. We're going to go for this one here. This one's out. Since it's out, we don't need it. We can get the people back, so we're going to demolish it. It's going to give us 60 heat stamps back. And we got this guy working up here. One of the perks of working with the Technocrats have come up, and this is the fourth faction in the game. Pause to read so you can learn about those guys real quick. Let me get a pause going on here. One of the perks of the Icebloods is they go on hunting trips, which gives us an 80 food output. So they'll lead some people, they'll take some people and go on that, and then we can request funds from them, like get heat stamps and stuff from these guys. We can do certain things for these guys to make them happy. And with the Technocrats, they will assist in research if you're having an issue with research. So there are ways to keep these guys happy. The Technocrats just naturally come in, through my playthrough at least, they just naturally come in upset and unbothered. So we can do certain things to make them happy. Like since we're doing pretty good on heat stamps, we can give them some heat stamps. I have no problem doing that, just to help lean them in our favor, and then we'll also promote them, which will put them in good favor with us right now, giving them some people into their faction. All right, giving them, and what that does is that gives them some leeway when it comes to voting, which can hurt us in the future when we want to do certain things. It can make negotiating, it can cause us to negotiate more, to make some promises to certain factions that we personally don't want to make. Up here, these guys are charting, and these guys are charting as well. We have, so we got the Pathfinders, which is good. And that's already going. We had already voted for that, so it's going to make scouting a lot quicker for us. This is the Frostlands. We got, oh, let's go to economy to see if we have anything that'll help us in economy. I think we got everything we needed here. So now we go to, let's go to survival. We're already have this guy going here. And we are going to go with this. Trust loss from death is decreased, because death is something that is bound to happen. We took a huge trust loss from the people that were killed during that violent murder spree. Now, as you can see, we have 27 for and 22 against. That means we have a good chunk of people just sitting in the middle that aren't convinced. And personally, I don't like those odds, so this is where I would go and negotiate. So these guys, the Icebloods won't negotiate, but their 13 are for it. These guys are 100% against, but they also won't negotiate. So you have these people who are just sitting in the middle. So I'm going to go with the Mechanist, because they're sitting in the middle, and we're going to fund a project for them. Because I don't want to demolish something, and I don't want to repel the Pathfinder Scouts, because I do need that. And that now that puts us above. That puts us at 55-4, which means that this vote is guaranteed going to go in our favor, which is what we want.
The proposed law has been approved.
Okay, so we have to fund a project for the Mechanist, which we can do easily. Just click on this. We hit fund project. They're going to want 210 heat stamps. I am not okay doing that currently right now, because that's going to put us in a bit of a hole, and we do need them. So I'm going to hold off on it. 10 weeks. We're going to go in here. The watchtower's done. We're going to go to survival, do these work shifts, and the Icebloods are devoted to us. Heat demand. We're going to do this. This is going to give us a little bit of a, keep one of the promises we made to one of the factions. Let's go into our buildings, go into housings. We have watchtowers now, so let's put a watchtower down, which is going to help with crime, because crime is not doing good. We're having a problem with goods, and that's also increasing crime. When people don't have the things they need, they go steal it from other people. It kind of just makes sense, right? So we're going to build an industrial zone. Before we build that industrial zone, though, I can't forget that I do have to extend this. So that way I am able to grab these resources, and I should be able to do that there. So we're going to allow this to get built. Once it's built, that's going to give us some more resources to work with. And now we are going to build this industry. And as you can see, there's an area where it says that we have, sorry, not that it says, but the workforce that we need to work in this industry. So this is the reason why I left these gaps, because there's piping or roadways that are going to need to be able to get to these gaps. So I'm going to start in the blue. And I'm going to build the industry there. So we have 80 weeks until the whiteout comes. During the beta period, this is a natural reoccurring thing that's going to happen. So this gives us an opportunity, saying that we have to prepare for it. Food is not going to become a problem for us. Housing is not an issue for us. This is finished. These guys are still working their stuff out over here, so we're going to look here. We can set up an outpost for food here. We can have a look. 59 weeks and 5 days worth of food. Okay, so we can come back and set up an outpost here when we need it. We're not going to do that. Currently have 17. Is there anywhere else that we can work out of? This one will wrap this way. Once these guys are done, I'm going to need them to go do certain things. That takes 32. Because the resources have dropped for us. This has people, so we're going to go here. It's requiring 16, and we just had enough to sit there and take care of that. So let's, sorry, I always do that. Go right back into the city, and just stop for a minute and take a look at what these guys have built for us. This game is beautiful. I love this turquoise. I love the lighting. These little streaks that you see are people running through. Unlike Frostpunk 1, or maybe it's just in this game, or sorry, unlike Frostpunk 1, or maybe it's just the beta itself, they don't allow us to build our own roadways, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it does take away a little bit of that customization that we had in the game. And I'm still not exploring the full customization that we have in this game. Like, I can probably come in here, grab a housing district, clear out all of this, and build a nice housing district around this logistics area, right? Because I can. Or, oh, I don't want to build a housing over here. Speaking of housing, we have 16 free houses. So I think we're good on that right now, but we are going to have more people coming back. So what I can do is get ahead of the curve. You know, I probably should just knock out what the Technocrats want. Well, not the Technocrats, the Mechanists want. I know we're hurting for it, but right now it's getting warmer, but it's going to get colder again in the next 10 days. Just to raise their trust a little bit. Why not, you know? Let's see what's going on here. The Technocrats are beginning a protest. Of course they're beginning a protest. These guys have always been a pain for me to deal with. But we can send guards to quell this and stop them from protesting, because they decide they want to protest where my food is, and I really don't appreciate that at all. Kept my promise to the Icebloods. Relationship approved. So now, as you can see, I have the Foragers favorable, and I have the Icebloods favorable. It is possible to have all of them favorable. You just have to do everything down to a T. But normally you're always going to have one person that's just upset. These guys were favorable for a minute and then it dropped down. Whoop, let's pause. Let's not miss this to see what's happening. An ongoing protest. I know. I don't want to make a promise to these guys. I can do this. I can do that one. So let's pause. Let's go in here. Go to society. We can do that for them. Start the process to liberate the youth. I might have made a little bit of a mistake. I rushed through that a little bit. Let's double check to make sure that I'm doing that for the Technocrats. Right. No. So we're going to exit on this. We want to give this to the Technocrats. All right. And we have little things like that that'll happen, which work in our favor a little bit. Of course, they're going to grow more radical, but I don't need you starting riots where we need food because the guys there are not going to work. Let's pause. We have this expedition in the valley complete. So let's take a look at what we find here. A derelict settlement. 1,600 people is a good number of people. We're going to take them back. Pause. What's going on here? A derelict train. I've never seen this before. This is my first time in uncharted territory, so excuse me while I take a little time to read this. Well, we can leave. We're going to, excuse me. We have no choice but to leave it for now. So pause to read if you need more time to read. I'm just going to move forward. What are these guys doing here? They're still charting. These guys are coming back. It says XP. So we kept that promise to the Technocrats. Let's pause it. Liberated youth policy. They're most likely going to want us to vote for it. We only have 4. It's because of our output. So the newcomers are inbound. Once we get all of these guys back in, we'll go back to our 25. And taking care of that. So the cold is our issue right now. Do we have a problem with goods? Food scarcity. Okay. So now we do need to create a bit of a trade route to have food come in. So the way trade routes work, so we don't have enough resources. We're going to get that in a minute. But the way trade routes work is you have to build a road. And it does require a Frostlands team to do so. It's 25 heat stamps per road segment. But I don't have enough. So we're going to speed through. Come on. Pause. I didn't like that sound, so let's go into the town and make sure everything's okay. These guys are finished charting out here. These guys are coming back in, and now we have this here. We have more people. We'll take these guys in as well, and then we also have a mountain that we have to go and look at. Now that we have 15, we're going to harvest this food. And I want to... That is fine. Okay, so now let's make sure that we actually have housing, enough housing for these people. And I'm glad I did because we are short on housing. Make sure we pause it. Lack of law. Okay, so we have to figure that out. That's a new prompt for me as well. And let's build some more housing. We are on week 150. We have 150 weeks left. And so far, I feel like we're doing pretty decent. More goods are going to be required. So let's build a housing district. Before we build a housing district, let's extend some of these. Contagion. We're going to have to build hospitals. Let's extend out over here for this guy. And it's going to ask us to do 3. So let's extend over here for this guy. Should have another district hidden away somewhere. Where are you? Are you right here? You are. And we're going to do housing. And let's just wrap you. Let's just wrap you around here to keep you guys warm. I'm also going to build another housing district. These are all warm spots because the housings are close together. I'm going to wrap out this way. Okay. How many shelters do we need? 30. We've built how many shelters? That's central total output. 25. Just to be safe, we're going to build another one. And we have all of this space over here, which I do want to take advantage of. I don't want to get too close to that. I might have to start breaking some ice soon. So we're going to build over here. Okay, we have that built. Hold on, let's come back. We did do that. So we're in good standing with all 4 of the guys that we need to be good standing with. Let's go here. Trust will rise. How's our trust look? Trust looks pretty good. People, we have 28 against it. Let's negotiate. So right now it's the Icebloods that are against it. And I think I'm okay with them being against it. We're going to ask the mechanists for help. And I'm not demolishing that. They want us to research. We can research it, but I don't know if we're actually going to use it. Let's wait for this vote to go through.
The ayes have it.
Okay, so things are looking pretty decent for us right now. So they want us to research machinist adjusted shifts. We already have the watchtower done. It's in survival, so we're going to go to survival. Work shifts is right here. And the machinist and the technocrats. It seems like it's going to work for both of them. So we'll start that process right now. What else do we need? How is crime looking? Due to goods scarcity. We're going to need more goods. So I'm going to... They're only building 22, so I'm going to extend this area in here. It's going to give us 3, so it's going to put us right in this area here. The cold is becoming an issue. Just zoom this up. We can kick it into overdrive. That is active. The generator is on. We're not going to do that though. These guys are doing their thing there. We have another group of people coming in, so we're definitely going to need another area. But I have 2 areas being built, so I think that will be enough. The next thing I'm going to research, let me hop in here and take a look. There's heat conservation here. No. The next thing I'm going to research are hospitals, because we're going to have a problem with the sick coming up. So we do have housing block. This will increase our shelter availability, but also increase our heat demand. We're going to go to society. The next thing, we're going to take a look at our hospitals. Now, these icons here, I don't know what they mean. I'm just going, and as you can see, there's specific icons for certain ones, but these guys are whited out. So I'm going to assume that these icons mean that they're going to work in the favor of these particular factions. So let's get up out of here and let's hit play. Let's get all of this stuff taken care of that we have set forth so far. Good. Pause. Let's look at our goods. What is the demand? Output is still low for goods. Can I increase this any further? I cannot. How many people do I have? I have a lot of people still available. And a lot of them are just sick because they're absent. And that's the reason why I have to get these hospitals set up. Deadly cold. See, I should have gotten the hospital set up a lot sooner. They want us to build a prison in 35 weeks. I'm going to have to deny that. I have good standing with them, so I can actually afford to deny that. People are dying due to the cold. Yes, I know. Let's get a pause. And let's start building these hospitals. I'm going to give the hospitals to the Foragers. Get our standing back up good with them. We have a vote. And as you can see, I don't have anything going for Squalor. Squalor is this one here. And we are going to need some more materials because they are greatly reduced. So we can fix that because out here we did have a material depot. And we have to connect the trail. So the way trails work is you're pretty much just creating a road. And we want to get this road to this point right here. So we're going to try our best to... And it tells us how long and how much it's going to cost this road to be created in resources. 6 weeks to create that road. To get that to there. We have these people coming here to do their thing. We need to... We have more people there. Food here. Mountains. We want to keep working our way out this way, I believe. So I need more. I need more. I need more. Let's take a look. What we're looking at here. Our output there. And our... So we're only going to get 15. Which means that within... Which I'm 100% fine with. We're going to get there. Let's zoom in. Of course, that's fine. What is going on here? Right, so there's a lot of things that are happening right now that's just making this tension rise, and when this tension meter goes up, we're really going to start losing hope. But they accept it and they're trusting us because we're remaining in good standing pretty much with these guys here. I should build more guards. I have a decent amount, so let's go into here. We got that prison. Crime is increasing, so let's put it out here in the cold area. And that prison did cost a lot. It did cost us a lot. Squalor's going to increase. And these guys are like really, really split in between doing this. Now, I can also pressure delicates, which would put us above the curve, right? But pressuring delicates, it messes with our relationship with all of the communities. And because I'm not doing good with one, I don't really want to work for that. 3 of these guys won't negotiate, but the Foragers are 100% against this. It's pretty much all of them that are against this. And actually, I don't need this because I have people coming in. I have more than enough people, so I don't really have a problem with the workforce, so I don't really have to worry about that. Here's our food. They're currently extracting the food. They're going to bring it to us. To help deal with the situation of food, I can send these guys out on a hunting trip. $417 people froze to death. And disease weeks workforce. Okay. It's getting colder. It's getting real cold. This is when things get tough during the beta. It starts to get cold. People start dying. Technocrats suggest an action. Technocrats want to research Blast Coal's mine to solve the coal problem. We'll investigate the solution. I do just want to get these hospitals set up. So we'll go to survival. Give these guys what they want because I just want them to be happy. And we're going to go into here. We get our hospital. We're going to plop our hospital down right here. Which completely deleted our heat stamps, but we're about to get a little bit more. I just need another week. I want to put another hospital out. Help deal with this because the disease is really, really severe. Rallies begin to collapse. I know. People are joining the Icebloods. Okay, we got some laws. Let's take a look at these laws. The heat stamp demand is slightly decreased, and it slightly decreases disease, which is what we want. So we're going to go for a proposal on this one. And as you can see, it's an equal vote. So we definitely have to negotiate some things here. These guys are mostly against it, so we're going to go and lean in for them. Or we're not going to... We'll just grant an agenda. Give them some heat stamps. It's easier just to give them money. It's kind of like our real world today, isn't it?
The law takes effect.
Okay, so we're going to pause. Where are the machinists to here? So we need to give them 318. Storm hits the city. Come on, come on, come on. And as soon as that happened, okay. As soon as that happened, we lost a lot of. Let's grant their agenda. These guys are almost back. It's cold. It's dark. Prioritize housing for heating. I'm not gonna leave my people out to dry just like that. This is the cold. It's in a deathly area right now. Let's go. Let's speed through this. As you can see, we're losing a lot of trust. Is this finished yet? I am going to see how this plays out. With it being dead even. Let's see if they can figure that out for themselves.
The delegates have spoken. The law is tabled.
The one thing I don't like about that is that when you start making promises like that for them, certain things like this pop up and you have no control over it. Because what I want to do is switch over what I said earlier about the heat stamps and increase the trust. But I can't do that. I have to wait another 10 weeks. And as you can see, the trust for me just completely dropped. These guys aren't happy with me at all. And it's because it's due to granting agendas. Gotta reduce it. Of course we did. Okay. People freezing to death in the city. Oh, I gave it to the wrong people. That is frustrating. That's what happens when I rush. But that's fine. Who wanted it? The Technocrats wanted it, which works out because they are 100% not happy with me right now. So I just kind of wasted a turn. So let's give this to them. And let's go right back into it. Tension crisis averted. That was close. Let's pause. Let's zoom out of the city, see how many we have. We have 25. We can't really go anywhere because it is too cold. Need 32. So let's go right back in. These guys are freezing. But we're going to get there. My goal is not to create a thriving city. My goal is to find the other places. I just need you guys to make it through. And we are almost there. Boom. Okay. So. We got Liberate Youth. Trust slightly. Our trust is slightly risen on that one. If we go to survival. And we have that. So. These are the food additives. Yeah, I'm going to propose this. This is going to get us food. Which is something we are struggling with right now because we have a lot of people in the city.
The proposed law has been approved.
Okay. Let's breeze through. More people died. More people are sick. What's going on here? What are we lacking? Let's just due to the law that we have because it is so cold right now. But we are going to fix all of that soon. We just need this cold to drop. It has dropped to 40°C, which it is a lot warmer, but it's going to drop again. Good, that has passed. We got iron right here, but we don't have any, I know, guys, I know. Okay, so we do have another food source somewhere. Right up here. Can we climb this? Yes, we can. Take care of that there. We do need to pass another law. Let's go into society. Let's do calm survival. Don't need to change anything there. Goods demand per capita decrease. Let's do that. This is going to help with just happiness overall. This is going to pass. We know this is going to pass.
The votes are in. The measure passes.
This is new. Contagion prevention. Okay, we got to find contagion prevention. Research Institute. Let's see. We have survival. I'm assuming we probably have to lean into treatments. Let's lean into treatments. We're running out of time. And I don't want to be that guy that's just like, forget his people. But we have a goal. We got a goal. We gotta lean towards it. These guys are hostile towards me. So let's give them this. Okay, we got 20. Why did we lose 5? That's the question. That's why we lost 5. Okay, so we have to figure out a way to get out into these areas. That's just more people. We don't have any markers. See, when I found the shore over here, there were markers. See this arrow? This arrow is pointing this way. There's another arrow that points out, and it winds up somewhere over there. So we kind of got a hint. And that's what I'm looking for right now. Some hints to give me an idea and point me in the right direction. Let's just head out here. Do we have, can we get any others? I have a feeling I'm just leaning into the wrong direction. I have a feeling I should be going this way. But that's okay. We have a little under 70 days left. So even if we don't meet our primary goal, our secondary goal is still to be able to survive the whole 300 weeks. What is going on here? Am I just demand? Right. We're going to construct this. That's going to give us our materials that we need. Yes, we do need those materials. We do need those materials. This is giving us our 70 food. We don't need coal. Coal is not the issue, so I'm not really worried about that. Let's wait. What else do we have out here that we've already explored? They're going to the plains right now. The mountains. I want to be able to get in here. Order the doctors to revive him. Glad we have doctors. Good. They're gonna start charting that. We're dealing with it. We're trying our best. We're dealing with it. Things are getting pretty rough for us right now. Things are getting really, really rough for us right now. And this is just an idea of how the game is going to be. Okay, so this is what they need us to do. This is going to decrease disease by a lot. Significantly decrease. And I can build more shelters. So let's go for this. This is close. We're going to do a little negotiating. Won't negotiate, won't negotiate. Let's just take the foragers. See what we can give them. See, I don't know if... let's just fund a project. We don't have to think too hard about it. Vote's going to go in our favor. Let's decrease disease by a lot. Make sure once we get up out of here, trust rises. And we have to look at home. See? And I'm glad I did. Pause. Let's get real shifty real fast. Let's build another housing district. Where am I going to build this one? Along this side over here? Deposit's nearly depleted. I have a lot. So we can do the food here. And grab this. And we have another coal deposit that sits all the way up here. Now, in previous playthroughs, I haven't had to touch these resources, so I actually like the fact that the game is currently pushing me to use these resources that I normally wouldn't have used in previous playthroughs. And I do appreciate that a lot. I'm ignoring them. You guys are just ridiculous. So now, as you can see, remember, we have people that were in favor of us, and now we have people that just hate us. And it's really, really, it's like balancing on a tightrope. And it's just figuring it out, paying attention to a lot of things. So let's speed up time and get through this. We got the cold coming in again. Timeout warning, got 50 weeks. So we're almost to our goal. Boom, got that food set up there. Perfect. And now I need an extraction to get this oil set up here. Why are you guys not working? Because you need more resources. So that means that we have to go and take out this area over here. Shortest route. Just breeze through this here. Let's just knock that out. He'll pay for his crimes. Add a viewing gallery. It's just gonna work in our favor. Keep somebody favorable with us right now. Okay. Just open up the area there. Let's go to these laws. Society, we already have that. These are opened up by things in the tech tree that we have to go and take care of. And they don't like this, but I need that, so I am not going to adjust that at all. I don't see anything. I have to fund these guys, the Foragers. Fund a project. Let's just give it to them because we have it. Put this deep shaft coal mine here. Okay, and that's going to help us with our coal issue. We can now go and check this out. See what we have over here. Do we want to invite these people? We did lose a lot of people. We'll invite them to come back. King's Mound, it's a landmark. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? So we got all the resources out of here. This is closed, so we should have gotten our stuff back. We're only getting 10. I really want to get in here before it's all done, but we might not be able to do that. So we might just be able to complete our secondary goal, which is surviving 300 weeks. What's going on up here? It's just protest. Should be able to build some guard towers. Oop, logistics. What do we have here? Surveyor's headquarters. Pause. I do want to try and get these new buildings down. I might have to extend that. Speed that up. More people froze to death. Put that right there. They arrived in the city. How's housing looking? Okay, so we need more houses. Let's get that built. Another housing district. What are hubs? Transport hubs. Let's try putting one of these down. Just to see what it is. That's new to me. There's like a little gap in between here. I wonder what could also fit in that area. Oh, we said we needed to build another... Well, not a food. We're in the wrong place. That's the reason why. We need to build more housing. So let's build that right out here. Just reduce the tension. Perfect. So now I can go into the economy. Change this to get the trust to rise. Vote is on the fence, so I'm going to negotiate. These guys are 4, so I'm not really tripping over it. Let's gain the mechanists, because we do need them. Just fund a project, throw some money in their pocket. And let's get this vote.
The votes are in. The measure passes.
So we're going to fund the mechanist. More people freeze to death. There's a protest somewhere. I need guards. Do I have time? Well, I might not be able to get these guard towers up in time, but I am going to complete my secondary goal of completing 300 weeks, because we have 10 weeks left. It is deathly cold, and it seems like we are barely going to make it. Let's try and build, just for the sake of sakes, just a treatment. Icebloods are favorable. Let's give it to these guys. More people are dying. It dropped to 110. It's like the game is, once you get here, it's like they're going to do everything in their power to get you to lose, but we made it the whole 300 weeks. That was Frostpunk 2 beta. We didn't complete our primary goal, but we did complete our secondary goal. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you want to see more Frostpunk 2 content, subscribe to the channel, and please comment. If you guys are playing the game, tell me what you guys think about it. Tell me how you guys feel about it. If there's things you want me to try, or any tips and tricks that you have that you think that I can use to help better my gameplay, please tell me in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.